time to read. Wayne Button, our book reviewer, and Wayne Walsh, our TV watcher, are here to give us some reviews, and we'll start with the books. And this week we're talking Pulitzer Prize winner, All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. And Wayne's here to tell us a little bit more about it. Good morning.
Good morning, Rebecca. How are you doing today?
Not too bad. Is it as rainy as I've said it is in Lab West this morning?
Yeah, it's up and down. We're getting hot weather, but it keeps going rain, then it's nice to rain at night. It's been like that the last 4 days.
Well, you've seen the sun a little bit, so that's good.
Yeah, no, you can't complain.
It hasn't peaked here through the fog this morning anyway. So I've heard about that book. It has good review, but what exactly is the storyline?
So a couple things I want to get into with this book before I get into the storyline, because I wanted to come with a couple, two little warnings for people when they pick it up and read it.
Okay.
So first off, you're going to get the book. It's going to be 500 pages, and it's going to freak you out.
Okay.
So that's what happened with me. I was like, man, 500 pages, to the person that recommended this book to me. But easy warning, it comes with really short chapters. Most chapters are only 2 pages or a page and a half. So if you fall into that trap of, well, one more chapter, before you know it, you read 60 pages. So it's not a bad 500 pages, okay? The second thing I gotta warn people is the last 25 pages, read very carefully, okay? Because you're gonna get to the end of the book and you're gonna go, what? And you might have even missed the ending a little bit. In fact, there's a lot of debate online and controversy about what the ending really even is. Some people think this happened, some people think that happened. So with that in mind, the ending can be a little bit anticlimactic, but it's also interesting because it really makes you think. So I gotta warn the people listening about that.
Yeah, you better read the ending properly. You don't want to start over the 500 page.
That's right. But this is a very beautifully written book. It's really descriptive. As you know, I usually read nonfiction, but I'm really glad I picked this up. And basically, it's really 3 stories almost intertwined together. So one is about a 6-year-old blonde girl from Paris named Marie, and an 8-year-old German boy named Werner. And basically what happens is this is taking place in World War II, and eventually the 2 stories are kind of intertwined. And the third story is about a mystical gem called the Firestone. It sounds kind of silly, but they do a great job of describing it. And this stone almost has a lot of power and a lot of value financially. So there's people throughout the book trying to find this stone and locate it. And all these 3 stories during World War II intertwine kind of together. It's extremely, extremely beautiful written, I gotta say.
It's very interesting how you describe it. I mean, so what drew you to this choice? Who said read that 500-page book?
Well, I threw it out there on social media, said I've been reading a lot of nonfiction, and I'm looking for a good fiction recommendation. And 2 people came with this, and I kind of looked it up, and I said, fine, I'll give it a shot. So someone I talked to owned it, and I borrowed it off her, and I got to say, it was amazing. It was really, really, really good. I would recommend it to anybody, really.
Wow. So is there anything in that story that surprised you? Is there a part that you can share without revealing too much?
Not too much. Mostly, it's first of all, it takes place in a place called Saint Malo, which I've never heard of. It's, in France.
Saint Malo. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I never... I never ever heard of it, but I looked it up online, and it's an extremely beautiful place, with beautiful beaches.
Yeah.
So that really intrigued me. It's just really beautifully written. It's really good. Actually, Wayne Walsh would probably love this book because it has to do a lot with history, and he loves history. So you learn a lot about World War II as well while you're reading it. But no, the whole thing is just really good, and they're actually making a Netflix series of it. Within the next year or 2, so that should be interesting as well.
So if Wayne doesn't get to read it, maybe he'll watch it.
Yeah, that's right. He can watch it and we can compare notes.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've got me convinced. Any other warnings if I'm going to pick up that book for my road trip?
No, just don't be scared of the 500 pages and read the last 25 pages really carefully. And don't be upset if you get to the end and you're like, I don't get it.
Because others didn't get it before me. And then I can go read the blogs online to find out what's all the alternate ending.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. It's up for interpretation.
Oh, wow. Books that make you think. I thought novel were supposed to stop you from thinking, but no. Just like enjoy the ride. But this one, we got to think through it.
That's right.
All right. Well, Wayne, thank you. Thank you so much for this review.
No problem. Thanks, Rebecca.
Okay. Have a good week.
You too.
Bye. And that's Wayne Button, and he wants us all to read All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. It's an instant New York Times bestseller. Maybe something that I'll pick up, read on the road. Sounds like a great read anyway.
After this. Funny feeling we did.
We were watching TV. Watching TV. We were watching TV. Watching TV.
Well, Wayne Walsh is our TV watcher. And Wayne, are you going to read that book, or are you going to wait for the version on Netflix?
I think I'm going to wait for the version to come on Netflix. Although they do say the book is usually better than the show, so
I don't know.
It kind of makes you want to look at the book.
Are you scared by the 500 pages? I am kind of.
I would definitely be scared by 500 pages, being more of an amateur reader that might get a book in a year if I'm lucky.
But the short chapters might work with family lives. Something to keep in mind.
That's kind of where I was going this week with my TV show. Also, I was in the last couple of times I've been putting my time into probably a 2-hour TV or these more serious documentary type things. So this time I moved to more or less just something that I know people have liked in the past, and it's been at its peak, and I just got entertained by it. So this week I actually moved towards watching a fishing show.
Yeah, it's called Battlefish, and I know you can watch it on Netflix, and we have a little clip, so let's just have a listen of how it sounds like. Somebody just caught a big fish. I love it. It's like so different from last week. So what is happening in this show? Obviously they're fishing.
Yeah, it's a bunch of albacore tuna fishermen off the coast of Oregon, and I know that these kind of shows have been done with the Deadliest Catch having a really good run for a bunch of years, and I know a lot of people like that. And also we've seen Wicked Tuna come out, and actually my child at birth was kind of sitting there. They could watch TV and love Wicked Tuna, so I actually watched a few shows trying to keep the babies from crying. But this Battlefish is actually on Netflix, and the good thing about it, you see, with Netflix is that they're not restricted by whatever channel they're on, so it's more of a unedited, more see real emotions and no beats and no blanked out spots. It's what you see is what you get. And the other thing that I found with this one is the setup for the show is a lot different. It seems like they focused on a different section of how fishing goes for each of these boats that they're using on this show, from having the 60-foot with 3 crew to having a 1946 wooden boat that has a 2 crew member, to the one that I kind of thought turned into something I didn't want to like, but then I started to like towards the end, with this boat called the Opportunity, where they got 3 Suzuki 300s on the back, and the way they do their fishing is daily. They leave in the mornings, they go out, they try and fill their boat, they come back in the afternoon, offload to the plant, and their fish is, they sell them on local markets the next day for a bit of a higher price. A couple of the other ones have flash freezers, so it's good to see. And I know when you're watching these shows, you want to see how well they do, and they do same kind of thing as Deadly Catch with the money. But you kind of watch it wondering, is the guy that stays out there for 10 days doing as well as the guys that are doing daily runs? So it's just to watch the older way to go to a new way of doing it, and I don't know how many other shows show that they have these guys that just do like an 8 to 4 kind of job, and that's how the approach they take with this boat called the Opportunity. There's no sleeping quarters. There's no that. It's just a speedboat that just wings around to wherever they can find tuna. And unlike the Wicked Tuna, where you're going to see the bigger fish, when you watch those shows, they're just catching the big fish. This one is going more for quantity. So when you hear the clip you hear then, when they get on these patches or schools, it's just all out as fast as they can pull them and as fast as they can get them off. And you'll see emotions rise when even a couple minutes is lost, because, you know, when it comes to fishing, and I guess a lot of your listeners would know much more than a guy from Lab City, you know, time is money, fuel is money, and the high cost of operating a fast boat compared to the low cost of operating a boat from 1946 that's wooden. The difference being one of them has to catch 200 fish a day to make, you know, a really good profit, and the other one needs to catch like 6.
Wow.
So
you seem really into it. Is your wife as into it as you are?
Oh my God, my wife is from Newfoundland and St. John's. I don't know if she's ever been on a fishing boat.
Okay, but she's enjoying it too.
Yeah, and just growing up, my parents are from Newfoundland, and my grandfather was a schooner fisherman for a while, and you know, there's a bit of history for anybody around this region when it comes to fishing and that, and I kind of find that these are like the one you kind of want to watch, but you don't really go to work talking about how great it was yesterday, but you actually liked it yourself, that kind of thing.
Okay, well, so we'll add that on our list then.
Yeah, I'm hoping so, and I hope people who listen to the show around will actually take a chance. It's not that it's brand new and the most impactful show you'd ever see, but half of the things I try and do is just find something out there that people don't usually see or think about clicking on or watching. And I somehow, at the end of it, I was kind of wondering who was doing the best and where the money was going to be, and did the day shift work on better than the 10-day fishermen, and the attitudes are just same as always. They got a few different characters that just keep you entertained. So
I got you thinking. And entertain.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Well, Wayne, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
And we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Can't wait. Enjoy your weekend.
And that's Wayne Walsh, and he wants us to try Battlefish, a fishing show with a twist there.